All right, welcome back to the KnivesFAST channel, guys. It is time to do what I think is going to be a really fun video. So let's get started by saying hi to Ren and Stimpy and Powder Toast Man and Log and TV. Here we go. Thanks and welcome to the channel, guys. This is the Ontario Rat 1 and the Ontario Rat 2. They were gifted to me after a recent KF Live. Now, guys, what is KF Live? If you don't watch KF Live, what's wrong with you? Every Monday night, I go live at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on YouTube, and a ton of really awesome folks join. There's some really great chat in the comments, in the live chat back and forth, and people have an absolute blast. Well, we were talking about budget knives one week, and somebody brought up the Rat 1 and Rat 2, and I've seen these 100 times. I've had them in my cart. I've almost bought them, and I just end up buying something else, and I don't know why. And really, now that I have them, I really don't know why. But so a couple members of the community, I think, someone in the community decided that I should have them, and they showed up at my door like 2 days later from Amazon, and I have enjoyed them and carried them quite a bit ever since. So it's time to do not really an individual review of each one, because these have been reviewed a billion times, but my thoughts, my impressions, and some specs. So it's kind of a review, more of an overview and a comparison of the two, and a comparison to another knife, which we'll show here in just a minute. So let's just show them both together first. And there is the boxes, really basic boxes. These are both from Ontario Knife Company, both made in Taiwan, and just really, really cool blade shapes, cool classic designs. These have caught on as sort of cult classics in the knife community, and from time to time they release different versions. I've heard there's micarta versions of these coming out. If that's true, they'll probably sell really, really well. It was funny. I carried these yesterday, and I brought them up on Bob the Knife Junkie's his live show last night, and like several other people were either carrying them or had one stashed in a drawer or whatever, and Bob started talking about it. They're just a knife in both cases that are very, very well known, very popular. You'll see a lot of reviewers use them as size comparisons because so many people know them, just like a lot of reviewers use the Spyderco PM2 or the Para 3 because they're so well known. So that's the deal. So as you can see, the Rat 1, which is the bottom guy here, is the original, and it is a full-size knife. Both of these are in AUS 8 steel, and from what I've been told, Ontario's heat treat on that AUS 8 is very good. Now, I will say, this guy came very sharp out of the box and just cuts paper like nobody's business. This guy came a little ragged and sticky-edged out of the box. I have not stropped it just yet. It does cut paper, but it kind of ragged edges it, if you will. So that's super interesting. They're both GFN, or glass reinforced, or glass filled nylon. Anyway, they're nylon handles. They're plastic. It has that great texture on both of them. They are both liner locks. They both have tip up and tip down, left and right carry. They come to you in the tip down right-handed carry side. Let me just flip over, and I flipped both of them over to tip up. So there you go. And, no problem. However they come, that's easy enough to remedy. The pocket clips are just classic pocket clips. They're not deep carry. They are, you got about that much sticking out of that one and about that much. So you got quite a bit sticking out. You do have lanyard holes on both knives if you like that sort of thing. And the pocket clips have plenty of clearance, great edge retention, great retention in the pocket, and really, really good. As far as billboarding, this one, let me put one down at a time here so I don't cut myself. This one has the Ontario Knife Company logo here, Model 1, AUS 8, and the Taiwan. And this one has the Randall's Adventures in Training logo, which I think is really cool. Model 2, AUS 8, and Taiwan on there, but it's clean otherwise. These are both satin finishes. Really well done in that regard. Really, really enjoy them, and they are both, as I said, liner locks. This guy comes with the same logo on the box, and there you go. And this guy comes with the Randall's Adventure and Training logo on the box, and there you go. So really, really cool. Now, the reason I am obviously familiar with Essie knives here is those aren't Essie, they're Ontario, but with Randall's Adventures and Training was what I was going to say. There's the Essie Avispa. Now, it's interesting. The blade shape is different, but the Avispa, as far as shape, is very similar to the Rat one. So now one time I was about to get a Rat one, and I ended up getting an Avispa because I like a frame lock. Okay, no, it's definitely thinner because it's a frame lock, and one side has a scale and the other does not. And the blade shape is a spear point rather than this classic drop. But they're very similar knives, indeed. But now that I have the Rat 1, boy, this is going to be terrible to say. I think I prefer the Rat 1. I've had trouble with the centering on that Blue Ridge Knives Avispa. There is no issue with centering on this guy. It is centered, and as far as lockup, it is like a 50. Really, really nicely done as far as this one. Now, centering is not the best, and I have not adjusted this because I wanted to do the video before I strop, before I adjust. I want to tell you what it's like when it comes to me. So the Rat 2 does ride a little close to one side there, as you can see, but the lockup is wonderful. Again, really well done. Nice. So let's move this guy to the side, and let's talk about specs a little bit. So the Rat 1, which is the big one on top here, is 8.625 inches overall, and the blade length is 3.6, and the Rat 2 is 3 inches on the cutting length and 7 inches overall. While we're on the Rat 2, it's 2.75 ounces, and the Rat 1 is almost 5 ounces. So they're entirely different knives as far as again, you got a 3.6 inch blade and just a 3 inch blade. You got 5 ounces and almost 3. So they're very, very different. One would definitely be a full size knife for most people and me, and the other one is sort of a secondary or backup or fifth pocket or whatever you want to call it. It's a little big for a fifth pocket, but it's it's a good size knife, but not really large. Now, it is a 4-finger knife for me. No choil to get up on, but you do have jimping here, which is really good for the ergos. It is a great ergonomic knife. This one, you got a lot more room, and it feels even better. And you can kind of choke up here a little bit if you're careful. It's not an intended choil, but you can definitely use it as such, and I have done so. Again, just great flat ground knives, just beautiful. Now, as far as there's a tiniest little bit of side to side there, guys, movement, but barely. No up and down, no lock rock on the 2. Same little bit of side to side, but no lock rock whatsoever. So a little bit of blade play there. I imagine if I adjusted the pivot a little bit, that would probably go away. But I don't, again, I like to give the review how they come. So these two came from Amazon, and I'll tell you right now, you can probably find this one, the top one here, for around $32, and this one for around $30 on Amazon. If you look on Blade HQ, they're closer to $37 and $35. So it just depends on what you're comfortable with as far as purchasing. But now that I have them, guys, I have no idea why I didn't have these in my collection. They are in my rotation. I will carry them. They're perfect for little work knives or certain things. A lot of times I won't carry a super expensive knife with me if I'm traveling and I'm working. And so, no offense to these poor knives, but if I were to break or lose one of these, I could go replace it, somewhat easily. And, that's pretty cool. So thanks to the community that the two guys that I believe sent this along represent. Guys, it's just so kind somebody just talks about never having seen a knife and want to get one at some point, and they show up at the door. So that's pretty crazy and pretty fun, and I really, really appreciate it. So again, so as far as kind of a review, I obviously, as the one I forgot to talk about action. So let's start with the one. Almost forgot it completely. So it is thumb stud opening knife, and it just rockets out. As far as drop, yeah, it's shake shut, but really, I mean, it's good. The action is great. The detent is really nice. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, it's not super stiff, but it's definitely good. Now, the detent on this one is much lighter for me. So let's get it down here. I mean, you can hear it. You can see it. It's definitely there. But I definitely have to give it a little more gas on the thumb stud. But once it's funny, once it's rolling past that detent, it just goes. And then as far as dropping, it's about the same. So they're very similar in that regard. They're not meant to be super fidgety knives, but they can be. And I really, really dig them. So there you go. But, we've kind of gone a little longer than usual. Let me know, guys, do you have a Rat 1 and a Rat 2? I know there's a D2 version of both. And a lot of people love the D2 version. These Os 8 ones are very good, and the heat treat seems to be good on them. They seem to be holding, again, the edge on this one needs to be touched up, but this one seems to be holding up really, really well. So let me know what you think of them. Let me know if you have one. Give me a thumbs up, or if you don't like it, go ahead and give me a thumbs down. But thanks to all those who are subscribed, and if you're not, please consider doing so. And guys, again, the community is awesome, and thanks so much for watching the Knives Fast channel.